What's going on, Launa Wilson?
Good morning, Adam Schwartz.
This is different, right?
Doing? Yeah, it looks way different from the last time when I was here.
I know.
Better, much better.
Comfy I think it's comfy. Yeah, like not so.
Make people feel relaxed.
You know, we try to let it down around here. You know, I mean, now that we're What's Good in Riverside, you know, now that we have the sign in the background, we have to make this official.
You're doing things big over here.
I'm trying to.
Okay.
I'm trying to. I only have 2 podcasts today, so you and one other today. So I'm
slow day.
Light. You know what I mean?
Light work.
I'll tell you this.
How many houses do you have to show today?
Only one.
Okay.
I'm going to go to the
You're not working hard enough.
No, I'm going to go to the chiropractor today, too.
What's wrong with your back?
I'm just tight. Sitting at a desk all the time. And I'll tell you what.
You're a child.
I am a child. And now that I'm running for the training for the marathon, I can feel it.
Yes. Yes.
Like when I got to mile 6 the other day, I could feel like
you
tight.
have to learn. Only advice from a runner that I will give you, because I have not run an actual marathon. I've done training. Even if it hurts, keep going.
100%.
Like it's all about your mind.
Oh, 100%.
You have to talk your way through.
Check out.
I went for 5 miles this morning, and my foot is killing me.
Oh yeah.
But you know,
doesn't it hurt?
Stop. Yeah, it hurts.
I know, but isn't it hurt?
Yes, it's hurt.
What's wrong with it?
But not hurt enough for me to stop.
Does it hurt?
I got heel pain. I don't know.
Probably have like a bone spur.
I don't know.
You're not gonna look at the things. Well, we have a big announcement while you're on this podcast.
Well, yeah.
You know?
Am I going to say it, or are you going to say it?
Well, it's your thing. I
have officially gone out on my own.
Congratulations.
With my business. Thank you.
Welcome to the world.
Welcome to the world.
You don't say I'm a grown up.
I'm a grown up.
You're a grown up now. Congratulations.
Oh, now I'm a grown up.
You've actually finally
grown up.
You finally graduated into the real world of what we deal with.
Right.
This show is sponsored by Resilient Real Estate Group, powered by EXP. So, you're thinking about buying and selling soon? Yes, we know you probably know a realtor, your mom's best friend's cousin's neighbor, who puts her face on the local shopping cart. But you know what? Our friends at Resilient Real Estate Group have helped hundreds of thousands of people sell houses over the years, and they definitely know what they're doing based on their 5-star review on Google and Zillow. So, it doesn't matter if you're looking to buy $1 million house or a fixer-upper, make sure the next time you're thinking about buying and selling real estate, you give our friends a call over at Resilient Real Estate Group. And now we're back to the show. That's exciting.
Everyday stuff. So it's Launa Wilson Consulting LLC. I do consulting for nonprofits, strictly focused on nonprofit organizations, making them better, helping them raise more money, helping them build sustainable programs, and, you know, help them continue being the heart of our community. That's what I'm doing.
That's the hard part with nonprofits that people don't process, is that it's not a lot of money there. So the people that work there are not always like the most savvy. So you kind of need people just like you.
Well, I wouldn't say folks are not the most savvy. Let's not be insulting my nonprofit people.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, you know what I mean?
The biggest issue that I've seen, and this has been 20 plus years of working in the sector myself, and 3 years of consulting on the side. Now, finally, I'm apparently grown because I'm out 100% on my own. Thank you, Adam.
I think there's a cake coming there today.
Chocolate chip cookies.
Yeah, chocolate chip cookie. Someone got me chocolate chip cookies today.
It was me.
That was this person.
No, one thing that I've learned and experienced over as many years as I've been in the sector is the people that work in nonprofits, that start nonprofits, that run nonprofits, are some of the most passionate people you'll ever meet, right? They love what they do. They care about the community. That's why I call them the heart and soul of any community.
Yeah.
So they are extremely focused on serving the clientele that they want to serve, solving the problems that they want to solve, and not paying so close of attention to the fact that what they're actually running is a business.
Yeah.
And so that's where I come in.
I think that's where it slides out.
Right. That's like definitely where it slides
nonprofit is still a business.
It's absolutely.
You still have to have P&Ls.
Before you ever go
profit and losses, if people don't know what that means.
Before you ever file for your 501c3 nonprofit tax status, because that's all it is a tax status with IRS. First thing you do is file corporate papers. Yeah. Right. So you are a corporation first and foremost, and I think that's part of the piece that gets missing. That stays.
Well, I think it's the thing that people don't think about.
Swept to the side and not.
They just go like, "There's a problem I want to solve."
Correct.
They don't process that like you're basically starting a company.
You are starting a company.
And what I meant by that last statement is that it's just so hard when you're doing, like, say you're working for a nonprofit in marketing, right, or a CPA. I dated a girl a long time ago that was a nonprofit, and I'm like, what you make in the corporate world is sometimes 10x what you're making there.
True.
Like, it's so hard. Like,
people don't go into nonprofit for the money.
No, for
Definitely
sure.
not.
And that's why I'm saying, like, that's why it's so hard to get like grade A.
True.
Because the money's just not there, because if I'm getting a huge salary, then that money's not going to our cause.
Precisely.
You know,
and that's not what people donate to nonprofits.
That's why people don't like Goodwill. Isn't Goodwill like that?
What do you
Where
mean?
like the CEO of Goodwill makes like $28 million a year.
I'm not going to talk
I'm
about
just
any
saying.
specific
It's something-
nonprofits
yeah.
or specific CEOs.
Well, I don't wanna
but
get it. Luckily, no one watches this, so
I mean,
it's perfect.
you have seen things like that where, executives
Make a lot of money,
and then
which
like,
I don't
there's no money left for the
disagree.
programs.
I mean, they're also running a massive company. That's why I think
Right.
like people forget it is a company.
It is absolutely,
And you have
a
to
company.
treat it like a company.
Right.
And if you truly care about the problem that you're solving, like you have to treat it like a company,
Right.
or you're just not gonna have the money, or you're just not gonna be around anymore.
Right.
And it's just
Exactly.
tough. I mean, it's interesting. Like for us, like now that I do this or whatever, it's like everyone has consultants. Mm-hmm. Like consulting is like everyone has
Anybody
one.
can do it.
That's not everyone does it, but like everyone has one, right? Like it's like this person has a coach or a consultant or someone who runs your P&L or someone to look at your books. Like it's just part of the job. It's like
Everybody needs some
everyone
kind of support.
needs someone looking outside in.
Right.
Because
and
that's
I
when
just
you
choose to focus on the nonprofits
So why nonprofits?
because that's where my heart is.
Well, I know how
I mean-
passionate you feel about affordable housing. So.
I mean, that's one of the things I'm passionate about. But
Yeah.
just I have a high level of respect for the people that start nonprofits, run nonprofits. I love the mission-based reasons of why nonprofits exist. I
Yeah.
think they don't get enough credit for all the good that they do in the community. I mean, you can't have a strong community without a strong business sector,
Yeah.
of which you are a part, my
Kinda.
friend.
Continue.
And a strong nonprofit sector as well. I mean, these are the folks that take care of the humans, right? While the business sector takes care of the economy.
Yeah.
And so that's why I just have always been a part of that professionally, part of that sector. And I just wanted to stay there and broaden my reach instead of focusing on one job for one organization.
Is that why you kind of left where you were at before?
Yeah, that's
It's like you were
absolutely why
like
I
in this
left.
little like nugget, and you're like, I need to expand my.
That's right. I'm in a point in my life because I'm old. I'm an old lady.
I mean, you just graduated, but sure, continue.
I mean, and I've been doing this work for a really long time. I just grew tired and of limiting my expertise to
Yeah.
one organization. When
Well, it just also gets boring. I don't think
it
people
does get
process
old.
like going back to housing, right? That's all I really know. But it's like the process is almost always the same.
Right.
So it's just like. So when people are like, why do you do this podcast? Whatever. It's like, well, on Tuesdays, I know I have something
different.
that is different.
Right.
That kind of switches up the whole routine.
Yeah. And part of the impetus for me also was I have a lot of friends and associates that
Yeah.
are nonprofit executive directors or nonprofit board members, and I get a lot of phone calls.
Yeah.
Hey, Launa, can you help us? Help me think through this, or what do I do with that in terms of, what policy should I have? How am I going to raise money at this event that we've never raised money at, right? So I'm giving out a lot of advice, and that's part of what made me decide that that I could do more
Yeah.
for more organizations if I quit the job that I had and went out on my own. And I'm really proud of the fact and grateful to people like you, mentors and friends that have already done this,
Yeah.
just starting their own business and running their own business successfully. I've leaned on you guys a lot
Yeah.
for advice, for pep talks and all of that.
Well, it's like we we're
So-
just talking about marathon training. Like, someone can tell you, but like you can't. It's also like you also
You
have
gotta
to
just do it.
go do the work. You got to show up. You got to do those things. And I think that is like. I think that is probably why you see most people fail. Is like one, they don't process the amount of work that it takes. That's one, and then two, they're in a sector or something that they're just not that good at.
Oh, wow. Why would anybody go into business into something that they're not good at?
Because their friends
People
and
just think-
friends and family say they are good at it, and they're really not. You know what I mean? Something we really talk a lot about over here is accountability.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like human nature, it's like most people get offended when someone holds you accountable. But for me, it's like that's how you show true love. Because if you truly care about that person, you're gonna want
see him succeed.
you want them to succeed.
Right.
And if I don't hold you accountable, and you're not succeeding, then we're just kind of spinning our wheels.
But I think that I won't say but, I would say it's I think the most important for you to be able to hold yourself accountable.
100%.
Right? If I lay in bed until 6 a.m. and didn't get up at 4:30 this morning, I wouldn't have had my nice run and I wouldn't be feeling great this morning, right?
Yeah.
So if you are not willing to hold yourself accountable, why would you expect anybody else to care, really?
You know what? I am so upset at myself right now.
What did you do? Or what didn't you do?
I came across one of the best reels on Instagram the other day, and of Kobe, a quote from Kobe Bryant, I think it was, and I can't find it. I cannot.
You didn't screenshot it?
It was one of those things where I just was like, oh my God, that was so great. And then I like exited out and then I went back and it was gone because it was like in the Explorer page. And I keep trying to search for it, but it was like the greatest quote I've ever heard in my life. And I was like, dang it. And now I have to find it.
Are you going to have a bad rest of the week because you lost that? Or?
No, I'm going to steal it like it's mine because if I can't find it, then no one can really prove that it was Kobe. Just joking.
You're terrible.
No, what the quote was a very interesting thing. It was a guy who was like, hey, I really always thought Kobe was a ball hog. That's what this guy talking. He's like, I always thought Kobe was a ball hog. But then I heard him say one thing why it now makes sense why he always takes the last shot. He says, I saw you show up to practice late. I saw the energy that you used at practice.
Wow.
I saw how you were before the game. I saw you during the game. So why would I trust you with the last shot? And I was like, holy crap, that's the greatest quote of all time.
Is that the greatest?
That is the greatest quote of all time. And what I mean why it's such the greatest quote is, are you the person that, if you're not getting the opportunities you want, because someone is watching you not put the work in, so why would they trust you with that opportunity?
Okay.
And that's what it hit me, right?
Okay.
Like,
I get that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get
like
that.
the reason people were calling you, even though you weren't like,
in business,
this is what I do.
No, not
because
at all.
they saw you showing up to practice. They saw your energy during the game. They trusted you with the shot.
Yeah. I appreciate
so
that.
that is why, like, I was like,
where is that quote, Adam?
I know. Like, literally, like, I want to put that, like, on a wall, like, because it literally is, like, everything. When
So
people
true.
are like, why am I not getting what I want? It's like, well, maybe because the people are watching you,
You're not doing the work.
putting in the effort and the work, and they don't trust you with what they got to give you.
That's such a good point. That is such a go. God bless Kobe Bryant.
I swear,
Rest
dude.
his soul,
Rest
man.
his soul, man. I you know what I was interesting about that too? Like, I mean, kind of go deep dive on Kobe for a second. Like it's sad that he passed away for sure. But then, like, does that level up his iconic
Absolutely.
whatever?
You know, people care more about people once
that's
they're
what I'm
gone.
saying. Or not even that, but like because he went out that way and because like he'll live longer because of that than if he lived until he was 80. I don't know that.
Maybe. I don't
like
know.
Tupac and Biggie.
Man, people are still having
They're still
Tupac
rocking
sighting,
Tupac,
right?
Biggie. They're
All
still
day.
like arguing as Tupac. And like, no offense, like, I mean, he was hot for like, he was there for like.
Listen, don't start.
I'm not saying, but like, would he have lasted 20 years? Probably not.
Maybe.
I don't think so.
I don't know, man.
Gangster rap's really not in anymore. You know what I mean?
Tupac forever.
Tupac forever. That's what I'm saying. So everyone's like, oh, Tupac. And I'm like, he's okay. He had a few good jams. Like, I'm not a big Biggie fan. I'm a big hip hop guy. And like, people are like, oh, Biggie's. I'm like, he had one or two.
But they died so young.
They died so young. And so,
At the peak
and the
of-
way they died
Right.
of like gang and
Yeah.
like the mystery around them
Right.
makes them live on.
Okay.
So that's, but anyways, greatest quote. I think that might be the
appreciate
greatest quote. And if you live by that quote, if I'm not getting the opportunities that I want, maybe I need to start looking at myself of, am I giving off what people perceive to give me that opportunity?
Right. I'm so grateful to be doing business here in Riverside.
Yeah.
Primarily because talk about putting in work.
Oh, yeah.
I've been in this city 11 years. And I remember vividly my first 3 years living here, just showing up to everything. And I still show up to everything,
Yeah.
but showing up to everything, not knowing anybody
It's
in this
hard.
city yet. I didn't know a single person when
That's
I first
hard.
moved here, right? So I'm just showing up and shaking hands, and I'm naturally introverted.
That's a skill
but
set that people overlook.
Show up.
You got to
Right.
show
You
up
gotta
all the
show
time,
up.
even when it's awkward. That's why I'm super pumped in this marathon training. It's
Yeah.
literally letting me to like, I have to show up.
You have to.
And I'm telling everyone. So I'm like,
So
well,
everybody's asking you and
not even
holding
that,
you accountable.
holding me myself accountable,
That's
right? Like if I don't if June 3rd comes around, I don't post a marathon
Listen,
time. People
we
will be like, yo,
all gonna be
100%.
talking so bad.
I don't even want
about
to.
you.
I don't even want to post
Don't
if I
even-
come in at 4:01. I'm gonna be like, oh, I told everyone under 4.
Nope. You better get it right.
I'm going to be checking that clock.
You better get it right.
I'll cut a corner. I don't care.
Show up, do the work.
Yeah, but it's interesting how like 11 years of work is now paying off when that opportunity has come.
Right.
And then that's just like the hard part. I don't think people don't process. And it's something that I fight all the time where I'm like today, like we were talking about, oh, this will be my 8th year in real estate. And then it's like people I look up to, I'm like, oh my God, they're so like they have everything so dialed in, but it's like, well, they're at year 20.
Right.
So it's like they got, basically 13 years on me right now.
And I'm sure that they
went through those things too.
They went through all of that too, and you're working hard.
I'm working hard.
You could probably show up a few more places, but
for sure. We've talked about it. I'm trying. You know what I mean? But I think like I guess the reason why I didn't like showing up before to those stuff that we're talking about. Good Morning Riverside and stuff like that. It's like I felt like I had nothing to offer other than being a realtor. And
we've got plenty of realtors.
We got plenty of realtors there. So I always felt awkward, and they weren't like, they say like tribe. Like those people there are not my tribe. They're not, my style of people or whatever.
Right.
But now that I have something else to offer to the table, then I feel like I'm providing some type of value. And so I feel more comfortable showing up now.
Yeah. And I appreciate that. You don't always want to feel like the guy that's showing up with his hand out, right?
Yeah. Like, hey,
Nobody
listen, I
wants
sell real estate with a badge on. You know what I mean?
I can't picture you being that guy, but you're in the relationship business, just like I am.
Yeah, exactly.
Relationships matter, and you have to show up to create those relationships.
So you showed up. So you were basically showing up to everything, but like, when was that moment in time you felt like, or was it something you kind of changed that you felt like, okay, now I'm getting the momentum in Riverside?
It was when people started recognizing me and saying, "Oh, hi, Launa, good to see you."
You know what? If this gets me canceled up, it also helps that you're like a tall black woman. I'm not gonna
that
lie.
Doesn't hurt.
Like literally,
it doesn't hurt.
Like you could see you in a room with anyone else. You're like, oh, there's a lot. Like
that's how I'm kind of hard to miss. Yeah. But for the first 3 years, I was just that tall black lady that nobody knew. Right. Yeah. Now I'm that tall black lady who dresses to the nines, and her name is Launa Wilson, and everybody knows her. And I'm so grateful to have put in the time and created some good relationships. So I'm not doing a whole lot of advertising for my business. For sure. I'm getting phone calls, and people are making referrals because folks know me and trust me, and most importantly, they know I do good work, and they know I know what I'm doing.
Yeah. I think too, like, I don't think people process too is like there's so many people that show up for a week or a month, and like those people that have been there for years, it's almost like you gotta like be jumped into the gang. Like, you know what I mean?
Why
like,
are you taking this?
Like, you gotta show up. You gotta show up long enough. You know what I mean?
It's true.
That's the issue. Is like that's the thing that people don't get. In any space, like I have people hit me up all the time, like, oh, how do I do more deals? I give them one thing, and I said, I'll follow up in a week and see if you've done it. And next week I call and they haven't done it yet.
You're done.
You're done.
Yeah, you're done.
You don't want it that bad,
right?
So it's like you can't.
And why would you waste your time?
100%. And that's the thing that people don't process. It's like their time is so valuable that if they see you show up one meeting or a month, they've seen a million of you show up for a month. Come and go. So like when you're there longer and longer, like, oh shit, I've been seeing this person for a while now. Okay. All right.
It takes that consistency.
It's so crazy how it's so simple but so difficult at the same time.
It can be difficult, right?
100% it is.
Because if I'd have been like, you know what, people aren't, I'm not meeting anybody.
Nothing's coming from it. Nothing's coming from it.
2 years in. I'm 2 years in. Like I should know everybody by now. If I had stopped, I would not be having
you would
started
stay
my own
probably
business.
At RCC.
I would probably still be at my last job.
Or not even there.
Or not even there. Who
you
knows?
might not even be in Riverside.
I might have went back to Vegas.
Yeah.
For crying
exactly.
out loud.
I could have
Who
shown
knows?
into the Golden Nugget and you're doing blackjack tables. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I don't think so.
I'd be like, do you want to split those pens? Yes, I do.
Cocktails.
Split. Yes, cocktails, anyone? Cocktails. But I think that is like the craziest part. Like that is something I have like finally, I think this year was like my final like, was like, it literally like no one has a magic secret to this. And it's like literally you just have to have the right mindset.
Right.
As dumb and crazy as that sounds, it's so true. Like a big thing I'm focusing on this year is like having so many small goals and not big goals. We're like this podcast, I don't know, you don't know this, but like I have a goal in my head that I want to reach in this podcast.
In terms of how many people are paying attention to it? Or?
Just this conversation. So when I walk out of this room and this podcast is over, I have an idea of my podcast, in my brain, a goal that for this podcast, and when I walk out, did I reach that goal or not?
Got you.
And I do that with little...
What's your goal? for this podcast?
To have a good conversation, to kind of show people more or less like the entrepreneur stuff and like how 11 years, you know what I mean? Like a big thing I'm working on right now too is like, don't look at the moment. Look what led to that moment.
For sure.
So that person's so successful. Cool. Let's look back at all the...
everything that they had to do.
Exactly. Not even
year
success
by
too,
year.
even bad decisions. Okay, what made that person make that bad decision?
Right.
It wasn't that mad decision. It was like, okay, like they were running late, and because they stayed out late last night, and then they got up late, and then they were running, and then why did I get a speeding ticket today? It wasn't because I just wanted to go 100.
Right.
It was because I didn't go to bed. I wanted to rather hung out with people last night, woke up late, wasn't prepared, had to jump in the car, had a meeting. That's what got me the speeding ticket.
Right.
Because normally I don't drive fast. Well, why would I drive fast that day? So that is something we're really like...
That's real deliberate thought that most people don't do.
No.
You know I can waste no time, because I gotta keep it tight. I'm in my bag, got my eyes on the price. You know I can waste no time, because I gotta keep it tight. I'm in my bag, got my eyes on the price. You know I can waste no time, because I gotta keep it tight. Give me the bass, give me the beat. I'm in my bag, this round is on me. Give me the bass, give me the beat. I'm in my bag, this round is on me. Give me the bass, give me the beat. I'm in my bag, this round is on me. Give me the bass, give me the beat. I'm in my bag, this round is on me.
I don't think.
No, because I think the hard part is like, why did you do that?
Right.
It's, I don't know.
I just
no,
did
you did. Like, let's go back to every little decision that made up to that decision.
Right.
And then if maybe we just eliminate the first one or or a middle one, maybe that thing doesn't happen.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So that's...
And good things happen, right?
This
because
also
of the
goes the
choices
same way
that you make, right?
Like this year, I have an accountability partner. If I don't do what I say I'm supposed to do every day, it's $50
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
every day.
How do I get in on that?
You in?
Yeah.
Okay, we're in.
I mean,
I'll throw you in my
you'll
group.
owe me $50.
If you don't do it, you owe me $50.
No, I'm not gonna, because I don't not do what I say I'm gonna do.
You say that. You say that. But like it goes.
No, but I like that idea.
It's great.
Yeah.
And you know what's also great about the accountability thing is it forces you to talk to people on your level every single day. Mm-hmm. And so then it starts spiraling. Like, then it starts with like screenshotting that you did all your stuff for the day, but then it's like, hey dude, listen, this is what happened today. Oh, I got this happen. And it starts that momentum of like, dude, you're crushing. I'm so proud of you. Da, 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 da. And it's like, holy crap. Now the people I'm talking to every single day know the direction I'm going.
Correct.
Are holding me accountable and are excited for my successes.
The thing that you just said about on your level.
Yes.
The people that are doing at least as good or better
yes.
than you is something I think is key. Because it's easy to take advice just randomly from random people.
I don't take any advice from people.
I mean...
You
listen to people.
For sure.
You listen to people.
I think
that you respect.
100%.
Yeah.
And I think that is the biggest problem people make is they listen to the people that they shouldn't be listening to. And then and I always say this to people, if that person who's giving you that advice is going to deal with the outcome that is made, then that person can put their advice in. But if they don't, then they could say whatever the heck they want to say.
Right.
You know?
When I was just gearing up over because I've been doing my business on the side hustle for 3 years. Mm-hmm. As I was thinking about 2 years ago, as I started thinking about, man, what will this look like if I decided to quit this job and go full time?
Yeah.
I was very, very deliberate about reaching out to people that I know have already done the thing that I was thinking about doing. People that had really excellent paying, great benefit jobs that quit them to go out on their own.
That's a lot harder than people think.
It's a lot harder than people think. So 2.5 years of just having conversations, and one particular mentor that I have, Norm, he gives me things, right? Every time I meet with him, he gives me a thing to think about, or a thing to flesh out in my mind, or a task to do, or a person to go talk to. And you better believe, because I know how busy that man is
100%.
And how successful his business is. I respect his time, and he's giving it to me for free.
Yeah.
You better believe I'm going to do what the hell he asked me to do, right?
Even if you don't,
and it always makes me better.
Even if you don't even understand why they're saying it. That is the thing I get so annoyed with, is that it's like, when you take advice from someone ahead of you, they're not giving you the advice for
Just
you in that current moment. They're giving you the advice so when you get to their level, that advice still works.
Absolutely.
That is the biggest mistake people don't get. Well, why do you do it this way? Because when you are getting to this level, you're not going to have the time to do the extra 10 steps that you're doing now because you're going to be too busy.
Right.
So it's like, I'm not trying to teach you how to do it where you are now. I'm trying to teach you where you are going to be in the future because the goal is to get you to the future.
Right. And that's why I'm giving you my time.
Why are we going to teach you this? Then you're going to get to here. Then everything we taught here doesn't work here. And then we have to redo it.
Right.
That's the thing. There's method to the madness. And if you're taking that person's advice or you're working for that company then just listen to the advice.
Right.
It's for a reason.
You're there in front of that person for a reason.
And that person got to where they're at for a certain reason.
Right.
It's not by accident.
Back to those choices, right?
Back
those
to little choices.
Steps.
You know, do you struggle with motivation?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The biggest struggle that I have is just sometimes getting up in the morning.
Really?
Right. I mean, because
that's why you need accountability.
Especially, are you gonna wake me up at 4:30 in the morning?
No, but if you don't, you owe me $50. I swear.
No, totally.
I woke up at 5:31. I had to be out of bed by 5:30. I woke up at 5:31 one day.
$50.
$50.
Wow.
You start your day off throwing 50 in the hat.
You're gonna get your butt up.
Then you have to still fight for the rest of the day to get the rest of your stuff done.
Right.
You can't just mail in the day.
No, it's true.
100%.
So for me, I've always been self-motivated, a self-starter, but sometimes the hardest part is getting up. Getting up out of bed and putting my running shoes on or doing whatever it is that I need to do to start my day. Once I get started, and I usually try to start with some exercise because that gets the endorphins going.
Get you moving.
Then I'm good. But yeah, it can be hard sometimes, especially in the winter when it's cold.
Oh, it's freezing.
And it's so hard to get out of bed.
Dude,
the last thing I want to do is go outside.
I won't run in the morning.
You have, I mean, that's.
I run at night. I can't run in the morning. I just don't have I've
always been a morning person though.
I can get up, but I'm a very slow mover. Okay. I'm 3 cups of coffee. I'm a book. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I'm not like get up. Like my girlfriend, she'll literally like
get up
when she was when she was doing boot camps. It was like boot camp was at like 5 a.m. She'd be up at 4:40, out the door by 4:45, and at the gym by 5, and then like 5:10 her trainer's posting an Instagram post of her working out already. I'm literally like
half a cup
number 2. You know what I mean?
I need to work out with your girlfriend.
Dude, she's like, oh my God, I'm over here like I move so slow. But so going back to the cold thing, right? Is I was fighting the same thing last month. So what I bought a room heater with a timer. And so when I wake up in the morning, the timer goes off at 4:45, gets the room all warm.
The room up.
So when I have to get out of bed, it's already warm.
It's not a shock. That would keep me in the bed. If it's too warm, I'm not interested in getting up.
Well, then $50.
$50.
I'm telling you.
Put me on that list.
I'm telling you.
Put me on that list.
Because you start thinking about it, it's like, okay, 50, and then another 50, and then another 50, and another 50.
I would go broke if I didn't get up.
Well, and it's cool because then we just give it, like most people are like, oh, we'll give it to each other. No, nonprofit.
Well, which nonprofit?
Whatever
Do
the person
I get a say?
Whatever person you decide.
I like that.
But I think I'm going to do it differently. I'm going to take a Dave Ramsey thing. That was kind of cool that Dave Ramsey does. He goes to like on Easter, he'll go to like a diner and he'll order a cup of coffee and he'll leave like a $300 tip.
That's
because
neat.
if you're working on Easter or Christmas, he goes every major holiday. I go to diners and I'll go have a cup of coffee here. I'll leave a $300 tip. I'll go to another cup of coffee, $300 tip. I'll go to another cup of coffee. He's like, you want to change someone's life? You leave them a $300 tip on a day that they're probably missing their family or they
have to work.
They have to work because listen, he even says, he goes, they need money. You're working you're working Denny's on Easter or on Christmas, or you need the money.
Yeah.
So he's like, I just leave a $300 tip and I just walk out. Like, no big deal. And that's like, awesome. That is like, I think I want to do that.
That's the best kind of philanthropy.
Really?
Is the kind where you don't need a whole bunch of fanfare. I mean, 20 plus years in the nonprofit business, I've raised a lot of money for nonprofits. My absolute favorite donors are always the ones that demand to remain anonymous.
That no one knows them.
That they don't want anybody to know what they've done. And these are major, major donors in some cases. They're not doing it for the recognition.
Yeah,
They're doing it like dropping $300 tip at the diner.
Exactly.
Just to help somebody.
Good karma.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Do you struggle in the nonprofit world because some of the people that you interact with who donate money are just doing it for tax breaks?
No.
Okay.
I mean,
Just
that's the most attractive part about having a 501c3 is the fact that people get tax breaks.
100%.
Where I have struggled in the past is donors or companies is usually what it is that want to give a small amount of money and have all the fanfare in the world, right? Press releases, what you call it, big events to thank them and all that, and your check was not
big enough.
That big, sir.
Sorry about your luck. But
put some more zeros on that check, and we could throw a special event just to thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I think all this stuff just like adds up. You know what I mean? And I think it's crazy how there's so many layers to it that it's almost like one of those things. It's like it was like during COVID when I couldn't go anywhere, and I started going down the YouTube conspiracy theories. There's like an onion.
You?
Oh yeah, I loved it. And there's onions, same thing. Like
you didn't blow up any buildings or anything
of course
crazy
not.
as a result.
Heck, I'm still here, aren't I?
Okay.
I did have to reset my YouTube so the algorithm would switch off of me. But Lil Leslerson right there. But for you, like, now that like all these layers have come together in the perfect plan and now you're doing this, like as someone who's a consultant, where do you think you miss where you need a coach or something?
Where I need a coach?
Yeah.
Oh man, on the business part of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I've worked for a lot of nonprofit businesses, built operations, built fundraising programs and all that, but it's never been mine.
Yeah.
Right? And so I don't know anything about bookkeeping.
Like a P&L sheet? I don't either.
I mean, I know how to read one, but am I putting everything in my accounting software correctly?
No.
I know absolutely nothing about marketing, right?
Yeah.
This is why I've had conversations with you and a couple other friends and mentors of mine about, like, what kind of marketing am I supposed to be doing? Social media? Do I use my personal social media for business? Like, I don't know. I know what I do.
Yeah.
I know nonprofits. I know how to help them, but the business of running a business is still something that I'm learning on the for-profit side.
I think for you, I think that word of mouth is going to be obviously the strongest network for you. And I think at the end of the day, I think that's the best for any business is when you can have fans promote you to other people. It just, so that's why you have to have your clients also have to be friends with other people that are in the nonprofit world. If not, then that doesn't really work,
Yeah. You and I had a conversation not that long ago about you were spending money on marketing or thinking about different things to do to market your business. And then you said, well, actually, it's probably more so word of mouth, or every big deal I've gotten has been from some guy I know or some lady I know. Why am I spending all this time and energy on marketing? Like, I think there's nothing more valuable than word of mouth. If you are doing business, in a specific community. If you're trying to go nationwide, it's harder, right?
Yeah. I think you have to have I think the word of mouth and that is your base.
Yeah.
And then I think the marketing spend is what fuels the fire.
Yeah.
So I think the hard part is too many people go the opposite way. They think spend money and that will start the embers.
Right.
Or build the base. And it's like, no, you got to build the base.
Have to have a base.
And then, that little embers are going, and then you throw gas on fire, like you throw the gas on, and then that explodes it. And then it's all about, a big thing I believe in is, especially in small businesses starting out, is like fixed cost marketing. That's what I call it. Where it's like, for us, like in our world, it'd be like open houses. Like I could buy open house signs and I could work 1 million open houses.
Right.
There's no cost more to that. But if I'm spending Google clicks or whatever, like,
that's unpredictable.
And every month it spins.
Right.
So that is not a fixed cost. That's always spending money. And I think too many people go the spending route when you need to be focusing more on fixed cost marketing.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
even
showing up to
nonprofits.
Stuff.
Yeah, show up because it doesn't cost anything.
Right.
So show up to stuff. But then, going back to what we're talking about, when you show up to that event, what small goal do you have going to that event? Not just, I'm going to go show up. Like,
how many people do you want to meet? Are there specific people?
Is there one person I want to go there and talk to?
Absolutely.
Or I need to leave with, one person's number who can lead me to this person,
right.
But just to show up and not have and that was a big mistake I used to make. I just be like, oh, I'm going to show up.
Yeah, that
doesn't work.
No.
You know?
Show up with a purpose.
With a purpose and a plan. And then the reason why I say have the goal is so when you leave that, you then can have an honest moment with yourself. Be like, did I actually do
on the way back to the car?
Yeah, like, oh, that didn't go well. You know what I mean? But it's crazy because like we do that with big meetings with clients, but we don't do that throughout with ourselves or with every little interaction that we have. That it's like, okay, well, you're going to this networking event for what? I'm just going to go.
No.
Okay, that doesn't really make sense.
But the busier you are, I feel like it forces you to be more thoughtful and deliberate about how you spend your time, no?
I think that's why people get kind of, you know, I wouldn't say I have a bad reputation sometimes, but I'm like so direct because it's like, I got to move to this next meeting.
You can't have a bad reputation, Adam.
No, listen, my clients love me, but when it comes to why have a 5-minute conversation, we can have it in 2 minutes.
I agree with you there.
So like that is I'll take an example that happened to me yesterday. I'm selling 30 new homes in Riverside, and a buyer who agreed to buy a house at a certain price, we went to open escrow, and now he's calling wanting to lower his offer by $15,000 and asking for all these demands. And I just told him, I said, I'm sorry, but that's not going to work. And then, you know, and he kept wanting to ask more and more questions. And I just went back, I said, sir, if you don't want to buy the house at the price we have it listed, there's no reason for us to keep going on and asking a million questions about the project. And I don't want to sound like a jerk, but I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to waste mine. So if you're not wanting to move forward on this, best of luck. I'll go sell it to someone else.
Right.
And he was kind of upset. And I was like, I need to hang up with you because I got 2 missed phone calls while we were on the phone call. Like, you know what I mean? Of people who actually might want to buy.
Absolutely.
And that is, I think, is a big mistake that people make in business where they think they don't know how to cut a lead off because they're so worried about being rude or whatever. Right. It's like, this person's not making you any money. Right. You need to move to the next person. Because if you waste too much time on this person, then by the time you get to this person, they're gone.
Yep.
This person doesn't pay your bills. This next person will.
That is something that I have struggled with since going out on my own.
Is cutting people off quicker?
I have a lot of friends and associates that run nonprofits. Some of them are potential clients, some of them are not.
Yes.
So when I get the text message on a Sunday saying, hey girl, can we go to lunch sometime this month?
Yeah.
And I already know you're not a potential client because we had that conversation already. I'm struggling with, I got to say no to you.
Yes.
Because especially now as I'm continuing to build my business, I got to focus all my lunch times, all my breakfast times, all my coffee hours on potential clients.
Yes.
And having those kinds of conversations.
100%.
I'll check in with you via text or I'll find you on Instagram and see what you're doing, right? But I can't. That's something that I'm struggling with because I try to be open. I want to be supportive. I want to mentor folks, but I also want to build my business.
And that's the thing that too is the struggle, especially when you're faced. Like I get called and yelled at over mailers, and I always ask them, I'm like, do you call Best Buy or Stater Brothers and yell at them? And they say like, well, no.
Who's yelling at you?
People yell at me all the time when I send a mail. So then I go like, why are you calling me? and I have learned it's because there's a face and a name to my company that they can't call and complain. They might be annoyed getting mailers from Best Buy,
but they don't know who to call.
But who do they call? The store manager?
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? They're not getting the CEO or the CFO. And so it's hard because your whole time with people in process, it's like you're always on. And you have to be, okay, I'm in any moment where everyone is technically my client for the most part. How do I balance being politically correct? How do I balance being likable, but
open and kind,
but not so likable where people think they can take advantage of me? Right? Like, and the thing you start learning is like, you just can't make everyone happy. 1, 2, you can't worry. There's so many people out there. You can't worry what everyone thinks about you. Right. And you have to process really quickly. Are you going to help me pay my mortgage this month? No? Okay.
I gotta go
to the next person. You got my money? No, I gotta move to the next person. I mean, that's the truth.
I need to take a lesson from you on that.
My thing is, it's nothing personal.
Right.
It's nothing personal. But at the end of the day, what is more important to me? And this is the thing I have with salespeople. You're in sales now. I go, what is more important? You putting food on the table for your family or that person liking you?
Definitely
putting food on the table.
Paying the mortgage.
So at my end of the day, it's like, if you are not trying to help me, then I have to go move on to someone where I can actually provide value to them and they actually want my services.
Right. Straight up.
Straight up. It's like, it's nothing wrong with that.
No.
You know what I mean? But some people get upset, and it's like, dude,
But you can't worry about that part.
You cannot worry about that.
Right.
Because then you just don't do anything.
Right.
Like, people go like, oh, some people don't like the videos you post. And I'm like, okay. They think you're wrong. Okay. I blocked a guy the other day.
You're not going to stop doing your videos.
No, I blocked a guy the other day because he sent us two comments correcting my videos, and I just blocked him. And he then found me on LinkedIn. He goes, man, I can't believe you blocked me. And I just wrote him back. I said, you have the right to write your comments. I have the right to block you.
That's right.
If you don't like my videos, then you don't need to watch them. And then it's like, oh, well, I just think your information should be correct. Well, your information is not correct, and it is your opinion and my opinion.
Stop fighting with trolls.
But then the funny thing, he's like upset. He's like, I don't know why you go upset and block me. Why do you think you
I
need
can't
to
believe he then turned around and found you on LinkedIn just to complain.
Oh, no, he follows me on LinkedIn too.
Oh, wow.
I don't even know you. I don't know. It's one of those things where, but I'm not going to let that stop me from making more videos. Like, even like this. Like, there's things I've said on these podcasts that probably upset someone.
Probably like the part where you were talking about the major CEOs making a whole bunch of money.
100% probably, but that guy doesn't care.
No, he doesn't.
Not at all.
No, he doesn't.
He goes,
because he's paying his mortgage.
He's paying his really nice house mortgage.
Really nice house mortgage.
Probably on the beach somewhere.
Right.
And he don't give two craps about me.
That's true.
And or any article coming out that he makes $28 million a year. He goes, okay, cool, nice.
It's a nice paycheck.
A nice paycheck.
Nice life.
You're welcome.
Nice life.
It's just, do you think a lot of people get in this space? Is it weird okay, I'm going to go with this question.
You know I can waste no time, cause I gotta keep it tight. I'm in my bag, got my eyes on the price. You know I can waste no time, cause I gotta keep it tight. I'm in my bag, got my eyes on the price. You know I can waste no time, cause I gotta keep it tight. Give me the bass, give me the beat. I'm in my bag, this round is on me. Give me the bass, give me the beat. I'm in my bag, this round is on me. Give me the bass, give me the beat. I'm in my bag, this round is on me. Give me the bass, give me the beat. I'm in my bag, this round is on me.
Isn't it weird that when people get upset at nonprofits when nonprofits are only there to help people? Isn't that crazy?
How can you get upset at a nonprofit?
People do.
What do you mean?
People go like, oh, I don't like that cause. I don't like that.
Well, I mean, yeah. People have their pet projects, and there's also folks that think that other projects are not
as
important enough. Yeah. But, just like the guy that you were talking about, you don't like it, you don't have to watch it.
Yeah.
This is not your thing. Don't worry about it. It's somebody else's thing.
Yeah.
And I think all nonprofits have value. They're here for a reason. What would our communities look like if we didn't have nonprofits doing the thing and helping the people that nobody else is interested in helping? It would be a shit show. Pardon my language.
That's all right.
But it would.
I just think it's a lot of things get done that we don't realize.
Yes.
I think
Absolutely.
a lot of things. I think a lot of things are processed. Like even any complaints you have about cleanliness of Riverside or the homeless or whatever, like there's still things being done behind the scenes that would be worse.
Way worse.
We just don't know it because we don't see it.
Right.
We only see the things, and we're like, "What the heck?"
It's easy to complain about the things that you see.
It's nothing getting done, but it's like, no, like you don't. Like I went to what's the main like homeless people in the Path of Life?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I went to Path of Life, and they're like, "We're doing all of it."
They do amazing
and I'm like, okay,
right?
I'm like, okay, I'll let the homeless in front of my office slide then. You know what I mean? Which I like her. She's nice. She's always there.
I know who you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking
I run
about?
past her every morning.
I'll tell you what.
She's a trip.
You're not nervous. You run by yourself. You don't get scared of the homeless?
I'm not scared. They're human beings.
I agree.
I'm not scared of humans.
I don't get scared of the regulars. I like the regulars because I know I think they know the rules.
Right.
I leave everyone alone. I get to sit on my bench. I get to do my thing. No one bothers me.
Right.
It's when I see the ones that I have never seen before, and I'm like, oh, he doesn't know. They don't know the rules around here.
Right.
Because the people that know the rules, they just hang out on the bench.
Yep.
Leave everyone alone.
But you tell them the rules.
They gotta know the rules.
I see a new person that I haven't seen before, and there's not a lot of them that I don't know.
No.
But I always introduce myself.
Yeah. Did you ever thought about getting involved in government?
In what way?
Like, city council or
Like running for
running for city council.
No, I like my privacy too much.
I just thought I'd ask.
Now I love local politics. Absolutely.
That's what
love
I'm
it.
asking. That's what
I would never want to be a local politician. I would not. I have zero interest in running. But I like being involved. I pay attention to the city council meetings.
Yeah.
I'm actually going for a seat on one of our city's commissions. And
Which one's that?
the planning commission.
Oh,
I have an
okay.
interview on Thursday, actually. So we'll see how that goes. It's just an interview. Nothing set in stone.
So you'll have some voice on what happens with Riverside?
Yeah.
I think I should
which is
hop on
important
that.
to me.
Do you get paid to do that?
No, it's come on. It's about service.
I should probably do that.
Do you volunteer with any nonprofits?
Yes. I'm scared.
Oh yeah, the baseball organization.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I just got my girlfriend just suckered me into being YPN president vice president.
What
this
is
year.
YPN?
Young Professional Networking Event.
Okay. Look at you.
I'm gonna
getting
change.
involved.
I'm gonna change the game.
I can't wait to see.
You know
it.
what's funny is she's like, you always complain about it, so why don't you
do
step up
complain
and
a
change
lot.
it?
Let's see some problem solving. If you hate
Well,
it,
this
fix
is
it.
the reason why I don't like it. It's young professional networking. The problem is that it's ran by realtors, so it's normally just real estate people.
That's not helpful.
That's not helpful. That's not what we want to do. So
No.
it's like at the end of the day, some people were not happy that I became the vice.
I wonder why.
Because of whatever. Okay. No, you know why? Because they're like, he's so busy, he's not going to give.
Is that why?
Yes.
Okay.
But I said, I know all these small businesses. I can bring them into our events.
That's what you actually need.
100%. Like, I mean, my Rolodex now is like of small business owners and young professionals. I got a Rolodex now.
I love that you know what a Rolodex is.
100%. I wish I still had one on the desk. You know what I mean?
Did your grandpa have a Rolodex?
No, he didn't. You know what my grandpa had? He had a something in his pocket. He had like a pocketbook. And it had
a little flip.
Yeah, it had all that. Addresses, phone number. Handwritten out.
That's the best.
No, so that's why I was like, all right, shit, I'll do it. Why not? I was like, let's roll this. I was like, watch. I'm going to turn up.
You move so fast, Adam, and a lot of people, when we've had this conversation about people not taking you seriously or whatever, thinking you're a flake.
Yeah.
I don't think people realize how smart you are.
Thank you. Thank you.
You think so quickly.
But I actually like it that way.
That people don't realize?
Yes.
Why?
Because I'm playing chess and they're playing checkers.
Yeah.
They don't even realize the moves I'm making.
Right, and you're making the move.
I'm making the move. They don't even
while
know.
You're talking like
They
5
don't
miles
even
a
know the move that I'm making
No,
we're making the move. And the thing is I'm okay knowing that move's going to pay off in 5 years.
Right.
That's the difference that they don't process is like this thing. I'm going to do 104 podcasts this year. And maybe that doesn't...
104? What a seriously random number, but go on.
2 a week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's not random.
No.
No.
So I go...
See, you're smarter than everybody.
So then it's like, okay, that might not pay off now. But I go to a local event the other day, Be Local. We're going to have him on later today.
Nice.
And half the people knew me because they've been on my podcast. So now it's like... I'm going body to body with people for an hour.
Right.
You don't think that matters?
Of course it matters.
Of course it matters. And I'm providing value to them and asking for nothing. And I'm promoting their business.
Right.
Come on. How's that not going to win? And it's a win-win for everyone.
But I can see, and we had this conversation before, people are like, what does this podcast have to do with selling houses?
Nothing.
They don't see.
They don't see
the moves that you're making with
because
this.
the thing is that we got the house thing down.
Right.
That's passive now. I'm selling 30 houses by myself right now, easily. Plus we have another 20 with a new build. Plus we have 40 townhouses. Like that's the easy part. As much as people don't think that is the easiest part.
Right.
Now let's do this, and let's add more to the table. That you're still here, we're here, and by the time you get here, I'm so far here, and you want to talk about in another, and I say this argument to everyone, in another 10 years, your social media platforms are gonna matter to your buyers and sellers. Mm-hmm. How many followers do you have? How much engagement do you get? How many people know you? Like, it's the networking game used in the right way. The reason why social media doesn't work for most people is they go like this. Hey, so you're looking to buy or sell? Give me a call. I wonder why that didn't work.
Because nobody cares.
No one
Everybody's
cares.
doing that.
Exactly. Everyone's doing that. So, but thank you for those kind words.
Yeah, of course.
I think the other thing is too, but I don't think people process me. I keep my inner circle so tight that I don't need to be best friends with everyone because I don't deal with the, hey, let's grab lunch. I don't deal with those calls. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's something, and now that's a problem that you're having to face.
I am, because I want to be open. I want to be supportive. I want to mentor folks, like I said.
Yeah.
And I love that part of being part of the nonprofit community. But I'm building a business.
Do you have a lot of competition
and I really have
in
to pay
Riverside?
attention.
No. I assume it's like nothing.
There's a few.
Yeah.
And I know them. I'm real careful about making sure that I know people that do similar work to what I do.
Adrian, make sure we don't have those people on the podcast. Put a blacklist out
but
there.
Stop it. There's no need. There's enough. There's enough nonprofits
for sure.
to go
There's
to go
so more
around.
than we even know about.
Absolutely. But I think more importantly, in terms of my network, sure, I want to know who my competition is, but I also want to know who does work that's complementary to the work that I do.
So you can build
CPAs
that,
that focus on nonprofits, grant writers that focus on nonprofits, so that if I'm dealing with a client, I can be seen as adding additional value. No, I'm not going to write your grants for you, but if you're looking for a grant writer, I have excellent people to refer you to. And it goes both ways.
For sure.
So having that good network of referral partners has been really helpful too. But I don't worry about competition.
I have no reason to.
I mean, there's only one 6 foot tall
is that how tall
black
you are?
woman.
Is that how tall you are?
Huh?
Is that how tall you are?
Yeah.
How tall is Chad? 5'10", 5'11"?
5'10" or 5'11".
Oh, okay. Chad's her husband, everyone. If you didn't know.
Couple inches shorter than me, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah. How's Chad handling this?
Oh, he's loving it.
Yeah.
He actually mentioned this morning, he's like, man, I can't wait until I get to quit my job and work with you. I don't know what he thinks he's going to be doing. You know, we're going to build it and see what happens. I would love to be a husband and wife team. He could run the social media, run the marketing.
Yeah, he's on TikTok. I know that. He likes my stuff on TikTok.
He has the brain of an engineer.
Yeah.
So I don't know how I can use that yet.
Maybe like on auto, like probably a lot of like systematical stuff, like follow up.
Probably.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
he could build all of that, automate all of that.
I hate automation. Like I know how it works and I know how bad and whatever, but like trying to do like when this email comes from this landing page and then it goes to that, I'm like, I click, it doesn't work. I'm like, throw the keyboard out the window. I'm like, this is stupid.
But then you're stuck doing a whole bunch of stuff manually, which takes so much more time.
Oh, for sure. Like we created, now that houses don't sell super quick, I'll put myself on I created like a 20 touch follow-up with people.
That's a lot of touches.
Because at the end of the day, people, the biggest headache I found with sellers now that houses don't sell really quick is lack of information. So why didn't that person want to buy my house? Why are they not putting an offer in?
Right.
And what I've learned is on a lead, with a social media lead, with a buyer seller lead in our business, it's 14 touches before someone communicates with you.
Wow.
12 to 14 touches. So if you do 2, you're done.
Yeah.
I have also learned that same amount of touches is for an agent to give you feedback on a house because agents are as bad as everyone else.
Wow.
So they all think, oh, I'm going to get one text from this guy and that's all I'm going to get. No. You get a text, an email, a slide voicemail. You get a text, an email. I'm going to keep hitting you until you give me that information.
But look, what you're doing is exactly the same thing that I started doing 11 years ago,
100%.
right? You're showing up.
You show up.
You're showing up,
because,
whether in person or on somebody's cell phone.
Well, because I need to give
consistently
my client the knowledge of why their house isn't selling. That is my number one job.
Yeah.
Putting out photos, that's great. But why are people not buying?
Right.
If I cannot figure out why they're not buying it, I can't build a plan to change. And then the outcome that you want, the outcome I want never happens.
Right.
So it's like, one text obviously doesn't work anymore. You got to hit him with 20.
Did it ever?
No.
Right.
You got to hit him with 20.
Right.
And then it's so funny. People get pissed, but I'm like, thank you for the information you gave me. And now I can give that back to my client. It's very simple. We're not
simple.
We're not friends. You're a realtor. I'm a realtor. We're not friends.
Right.
We work in an industry.
Let's handle this business.
Let's handle business. Let's move on. I don't see why people get so upset about things. So for you, obviously there's people starting nonprofits and they're not on a point of being able to hire you.
Right.
What advice would you give someone who's just starting out? Maybe it's like mom and daughter or 2 moms or something. They have this passion of whatever cause they have out there, but they're obviously not on the level to go out and hire someone.
Right.
What advice would you give those people?
Do your homework.
Okay.
Please remember that starting a nonprofit is actually the easiest part. That's the easiest part.
Yeah.
running it successfully and building it for the long term is the hardest part. And even if folks don't have the money yet, the budget yet to be able to hire a consultant like me to come in and help, there's so many resources online.
With YouTube and stuff?
YouTube. Just look on the internet. There's virtual classes. I'm a trainer for several nonprofit training organizations. Very inexpensive sources of education that I think folks that are just getting started could really, really benefit from, even if they don't have the budget to hire somebody like me to come in and do it for them. My advice absolutely always is please don't neglect your infrastructure while you're out here building your programs and feeding the homeless.
That's a big
and
mistake I
taking
made.
care of the kids or whatever it is that you're trying to, whatever problem it is that you're trying to solve. Please don't forget about your infrastructure, because that's the only way you're going to survive.
I think that's a big mistake. It's like you're so busy in the moment. And like I said, what I gave advice earlier is like, you're so worried about surviving now.
Right.
Sooner or later that catches up to you.
It always catches up.
So it's like what you need in the future, you're going to have to also do now.
Right. Which is what you said when I was mentioning my mentor, right? A conversation where he's telling me to do
That's what I'm saying.
something
Where you're like,
well, I'm like, what is the why
am I doing this?
No, because he's seeing my business 5 years from now.
Yeah.
I'm seeing these nonprofits, these infantile nonprofits that are just getting started 10 years from now. What is it that you should be setting up now?
Yeah.
So that you'll be around in 5-10 years.
Do you think they
thriving?
Do you think they struggle with, because they're so passionate about the thing, they don't know how to like reach to people who are not so passionate about that? And they're like shocked. They're like, well, we care so much about this. Great.
And you should too.
You should. Everyone should.
Yeah.
It's an epic problem.
It is. And so many of these problems are. But the fact is, not everybody cares.
Well, I just think there's like so many of them. Not that there's
so many causes.
There's not so many. It's just the bombardment of so many causes. Like that's something I'm on the board at my nonprofit on how to raise money. And I always say that to them. I say, we can't keep hitting the same people up with money every single year.
No, they're going to get sick of it.
They're going to get tired of asking like, hey,
donor fatigue is what you call that.
Yeah, like, dude, I gave you guys $5,000 last year.
Right.
The business not
Find
doing
some new donors.
My business is not doing great this year. I can't give you another $5,000. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Storytelling is a huge part of nonprofits building that communication style.
For sure.
To get people interested that might not otherwise be interested or might not understand what it is that they're actually doing. You have to be able to tell your story and not take 45 minutes to do it. Within 5 minutes, you should be able to walk up to somebody that you see at a networking event, tell them what your organization, the name of your organization, what your mission is, how you're making an impact, what your goals are, and how they can help. Like your whole elevator pitch on point has to be.
Agreed.
From day one.
Agreed.
And I think that's where a lot of fledgling nonprofits struggle.
I think they don't know how to.
The assumption I think that many of them make is I'm going to start a nonprofit to solve this problem, and of course the money's just going to come in.
100%.
Right? The money's not going to just show up.
I think that's everybody. I swear it's so funny. It's like we're talking like nonprofit. It's just like every other business.
Yeah.
Every business. I'm going to open a store. Everyone's going to buy from me.
They're going to come in droves.
I'm going to become a real estate. Everyone's going to buy and sell with me. Everyone I know.
It's true. It's a universal business issue.
Yeah.
Right? Not just nonprofits.
I'm starting a nonprofit. Do you know?
No, you're not.
I'm actually pulling from the nonprofit I already work for and creating a nonprofit off of it.
Why?
Because I feel like the things that they're doing aren't. I wanted to expand on what they're doing, and I think I'm the perfect person to do it.
This is so typical.
Why?
Because why not just stay with the nonprofit that you're already involved with and make it better?
No,
break off?
No, we're not breaking.
And fracture.
No, I'm not breaking off from it. I'm opening a new section because like the nonprofit we do right now is like we do like 3 things.
Okay.
We raise money to put people through college. We give Build-A-Bears to kids with cancer in the hospitals, and we invite foster kids or whatever to baseball games for the first time. Those are like the 3 pillars that we do.
Sounds great.
Sounds great, right?
Yeah.
The issue I have with it is that Care started back in 99 when 22 guys that were major league umpires, there was this whole we're all going to quit for strike, and then 22 guys left and everyone's like, oh, never mind, we're not going to do that, right? So they started it. Care Major League Umpires started a charity to raise money for those guys until they got their jobs back.
Gotcha.
You know, because like you've been a major league umpire for 10 years, you're making 6 figures a year. Where are you going to go work as you're trying to get your job back, right? You have no college education, mostly whatever. So that's why it started. And so a big issue I have with the cause is that we've gone away from that. And I know a lot of guys that are major league umpires like, hey, I'd love to donate money, but I want to donate money for like umps.
Right.
That's what we do. And so I was like, all right. So like I'm in talks to them right now to be like, okay, well, I think what we can do is we can raise money so when a minor league umpire who makes no money, because I was one of them, something happens in their life, like someone passes away. Like if someone passes away and you got to go buy a $600 flight to leave for 2 days, you don't have that money in the reserves.
Right.
Like you don't have it. So that's where they would take over. They would front the money.
But why does this have to be a separate nonprofit?
I'm saying I'm going to be running this section of the nonprofit.
Oh, okay.
Not like starting my own other nonprofit.
Oh, you said that.
I mean,
rewind the tape.
I agree.
And you said
like my own section of this.
Right.
We actually just joined all officials now. So we actually Umps Care just started another one with like the NFL, the NBA.
Oh, that's cool.
So we're all trying to. It's gonna be one big one, and then each one of them gonna have one.
Yeah.
So
that's great.
So then my goal is to then raise money for minor league umpires. So when things happen to their lives, they can have money.
So
to help them out.
You don't care about the kids that need college money?
No, because they're already being taken care of. Right. We already have that. So like what I would do is like, all right, cool. Like my thought and plans are. Oh, here's my thoughts and plans with it is like throughout the year, there's always tons of like umpire camps. So how I look at it is what we could do is, all right, cool. You're gonna do a camp for $50. Okay, cool. $50 a guy. Well, we'll find a local minor league umpire in your area because they're everywhere. We'll have him come out to the clinic for free, but then we want a percentage of that donation to go to our cause.
Sure.
And then that's what it would just be throughout the whole United States. And then like throughout the season, like you can like throw in money. We'd raffle off like minor league baseball tickets because we got free
proceeds go to the charity.
We get free tickets anyways when I was in the minor league. So you just say, hey, I need 4 tickets tonight. Or whatever. So yeah, we would raffle them off, and then that money then would go to the cause.
Yeah. What about corporate sponsorships?
We could do that. The only issue I've learned dealing with corporate based on this side of it is that they want to be involved with Major League Baseball.
Right.
They want Major League Baseball,
which
we're not. Major League Baseball donates money to us, but we're not hand in hand.
Sure.
And I've actually I've kind of told them to go away from big corporates because I was like, there's tons of ex minor league guys. Like one guy works for Arby's, and the Arby's donates $10,000 a year to us.
You mentioned that to me before, right?
And we have people that work pretty high up in Pepsi, like, because I look at as a nonprofit is like, why are we trying to go after companies that don't know who we are? Why don't we just go after companies with people inside of the organization who make those decisions?
You know your audience.
They already know us.
You're going where your audience is.
Why are we going to make it harder for us?
Right.
They already know and like us.
Right.
Now we just got to figure out if they can give us money. That's my thoughts.
Good job.
I try.
You don't need me.
That's true. Well, Launa, I'm super excited for you. We've been talking about this for a while now.
Yeah, we have.
And
you've been one of my friends and confidants and
it's tough, man.
Into this.
It's scary. It's hard.
Scary,
and
sure.
I think that's something that too. Like I think it's not disrespect. I think it's a non-serving you to be like, it's great, it's awesome, everything's always perfect.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that is a mistake that people make. If anyone you ever are going to start a business, real estate, whatever, and someone says it's great, don't listen to them.
That's not the person.
They don't do it, right?
No.
Like, oh, I want to open my own restaurant. Great. Like, I remember my ex-father-in-law, he had a bar. And people go, oh, it must be so great to own a bar. Okay. We had a fight in the bathroom last week, and the toilet got broken. That was $700. I got a call in the middle of the night because of this happening. Someone puked in the girl's bathroom and plugged the toilet, and I had to come and fix it the next day.
But it's great.
I had to come mop the floors every day because they're so sticky from the alcohol every single. It's great.
Yeah.
You know.
No, I'm really grateful that I've got some good folks in the network.
Yeah.
That I knew had done what I was trying to do, had been successful at it, and that would be straightforward, upfront, realistic with me.
Yeah.
And help me get through all the anxiety of it and the uncertainty and the second guessing myself and also keeping it real about the challenges.
Yeah.
Right. Like, so thank you for being one of those people.
Thank you. I also think our bodies just get used to the stress.
Yeah. I mean, I run, I'm stressed all the time.
That's why I went to the doctor the other day. He's like, how do you sleep? And I go, well, I work 12 hours a day and I'm training for a marathon and I got this and this and this going. He's like, so do you wake up tired? I'm like, yeah. And he goes,
day.
maybe you have a sleeping problem. I'm like, no, maybe I just work 12 hours a day and I'm training for a marathon. I'm doing all this stuff.
Correct.
Like, I don't think it's a sleeping problem.
No, I'm just busy.
Jessica's like, you fall asleep faster than anyone I've ever met, and I can get out of bed and you won't even know. So you don't have a sleeping problem.
No.
But I still have to do like the machine thing.
Really?
Yeah, they're like, oh, we still need to test it out.
Wow. You can't have like sleep apnea. Right?
That's what they said. Hey, there's a chance. And my cholesterol is high. Stress.
Stress kills, man.
Stress kills. That's why I'm grayer.
Keep running.
I try. Marathon.
June what?
3rd.
All right.
Under 4 hours.
Listen, I need to see some social media posts, some texts.
Might even be 3:30.
Lots of pictures.
Might even be 3:30.
I want proof on the time.
Oh, listen, when I hit that time, I'm gonna be like. Actually,
listen, after your marathon, if they don't have a beer garden,
they do.
Okay.
Yeah, but
drink the beer.
I can't drink.
No,
I'm
drink the beer after your marathon.
I'm gonna throw in $50.
It's gonna be the best beer you ever had in your life.
Yeah, I can't drink until I make $1 million.
You can drink after you run 26 damn miles.
I'll throw in.
You have my permission.
I'll throw in the $50. So, all right. So accountability. Accountability group.
Accountability.
You're in the accountability group.
Yes.
Witness. Anyone else want to jump on that accountability group? Hit me up, DM me, text me. $50 a man every single day. If you miss, $50.
$50. I'm in.
Get up. All right. Make sure you go. Oh, what's the best way people get a hold of you?
Launa, Launa at launawilson.com. That's my email.
That's the best way?
Yes.
Cool.
Or you can text me.
For lunch? No, just keep it.
Don't text me. Just email me, Launa at launawilson.com.
Give me an email. No
That's
worries.
it.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much. Super
Thanks,
excited.
Adam.
Can't wait until I start my own nonprofit one day and I can hire you. All right, guys. Make sure you subscribe, like, share, all the good stuff. Until next time, guys. Peace.